Once you're signed into Scratch on the web, you're going to click Create to start a new project. The first thing you'll do is rename your project. So instead of Untitled, I'm going to call this Guess the Number. Before I start programming my game, I'm going to actually set the space and the components. So I'm going to set my background and all of my characters. Down in the corner, I'm going to set the background first. So I think for this game, I'm going to upload a new backdrop that's just built right into Scratch. So I'm going to click on this picture here that kind of looks like a mountain. And as you can see on the left side, there are some categories that you can search through. I'm just going to scroll down because I know what I'm looking for is this castle. And I'm going to click OK. And I actually want to incorporate a second backdrop, so I'm going to go back into that same section, scroll down, and I want it to be this castle. So I'll click OK. So you obviously cannot see both backdrops. You see them here, and you see that there are 3 backdrops listed here. I am going to actually set the one that I want to see at the start of the game. So the one that I want to see at the start of the game is actually the one that we see here on the screen. But I need to actually make that a part of my program, or else it will not know to switch to that backdrop. So I'm going to start with when the green flag is clicked. And you can think of the green flag as the start button or the go button for running your program. So as soon as the game starts, I want to see the backdrop of Castle 5. So I just want to make sure that that's Castle 5. So I've switched to my backdrops. I can see that it's named Castle 5, and now I am good. As you might have noticed, I forgot to point this out, but as you might have noticed, I had selected the backdrop stage before I started dragging the blocks over. The blocks that you're going to see here are different for stages versus sprites. So let's start working on our sprites now. The first thing I want to do is delete the cat. Cat has nothing to do with my game, so I'm going to click on the scissors, click on the cat, and he's gone. And so on the side here, I have options for a new sprite. Let's just take a look at the sprite catalog that Scratch has. So I'm going to click on this little head here. And again, on the side, you see that all of them are categorized. I'm going to actually take a look at the castle theme and see if there's anything that I like. I think I really like this dragon. So I'm going to import him, and I think he's going to be my villain. But I didn't really care for the princess, so I'm actually going to go to Google Images and do a search for princess. When you're searching, you want your clip art, your images to have a transparent background, meaning they're not, it's not a princess in a white box. I want it to be a princess that's kind of already outlined and cut out. So I'm going to search for princess clip art. Clip art will just help me find something that looks a little cartoonish to match my dragon. And then I'm going to add the extension PNG, which stands for Portable Network Graphic, which means that it will have a transparent background. So when I search, okay, I really like this one because, actually, I think I like this one. She's got kind of a lot of actions going on. So I'm just going to start with one. You can see that there's this gray and white checkered stuff behind her. And if I view the image, I can drag it to my desktop, or I'm actually going to do the long route. I hit Control on my keyboard, and I'm going to save the image to my desktop. Just call it Princess 1 and save. So now I can go back to Scratch, and this time I'm going to choose the file, Upload Sprite from File. And there's my princess. You can see I have desktop selected. I'm going to say Open. And there she is. Now my princess is really big. She looks a little off. I'm not quite sure the princess should be bigger than the dragon. So I'm going to choose these arrows pointing inwards. Those are the shrinking arrows. And just keep clicking on my princess until she's about the size I want her. And then I think I want the dragon a little bit bigger. So I'm going to click on those arrows, make the dragon a little bit bigger. The last thing I'm going to do to set up my stage and my sprites is to set their starting positions of each of these sprites. So I would like my dragon to be here and my princess to be here. So what I'm going to do is start with the princess and click over on the events. And again, when the green flag is clicked, because these are the starting positions, I'm going to go into the motion category and say go to x89, y negative 81. Because I have already put my princess on the stage, these numbers have been filled in for me. If I dragged this block out and then moved the princess, the numbers would not be accurate. So because I've already positioned her, I can drag this block out, the numbers are filled in. Where these coordinates are coming from is down here. So as I move my mouse around, you can see that the X and the Y are changing. So that's where I want the princess to start. Now I'm going to switch over to the dragon, and when the green flag is clicked, I want the dragon to start exactly where he is. So he is going to go to x negative 101 and negative 35. So if I just switch these around and then I hit the green flag, you can see that they move back when the game starts. I'm going to just pause and save now just to make sure that my work gets saved. And that is all that you need to do to set up your sprites in your stages. You might have more sprites than I do, less sprites, more stages, but that is the steps you should take to get everything set up.